Imagine asking someone, tell me everything about my family going back 20 generations, and they start reciting names, marriages, scandals, even who betrayed who in a war 400 years ago. No paper, no internet, no notes. That was a griot. Before search engines was a thing, before state records, West Africa had human libraries. And today, we're breaking down what made them the backbone of entire civilizations. Let's break it down. Swing, 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 swing. Griots, also called jelly or jeliu, were oral historians, genealogists, musicians, diplomats, and advisors. They existed primarily around Mande speaking people, with traditions dating back to the Mali Empire in the 13th century. Their job was not entertainment, it was preservation. They memorized entire family lineages, dynasties, and even political constitutions. The Korugan Foka, the post-Sudiata Charter, may be considered one of the first declarations of human rights. Griots were born into griot families. Neta Makasfani. Training was intense and apprenticeship lasted for years. They performed through music, repetition to encode large amounts of information. They served kings, nobles, but they also served the community at large. Western societies would archive knowledge in books and scrolls. African societies encoded it in memory, in song, and folklore, in communal repetition. Different medium, same function. Store, retrieve, pasta. A griot's role wasn't neutral. They were advisors, critics, and even negotiators. They legitimized rulers and confirmed lineage. They challenged kings by recording laws and previous kings' mistakes. For example, in Mali, a king's coronation was incomplete without a griot confirmation of lineage. So no griot, no legitimacy. They were like the royal court's conscience. They were the village's memory bank. They were sometimes the political opposition through song. Oral history was not informal. It was a formal institution. Griots functioned like court records, a political analyst, a cultural watchdog. They were all of that rolled into one. Colonization wasn't just about land. It was about knowledge and control. Colonial powers labeled oral traditions as primitive. They dismissed griots as irrelevant and even dangerous because they remembered a time before Europe, a time when African kingdoms governed themselves. When griots were silenced or reduced to entertainers, we did not just lose our history, we lost records of land ownership. We lost philosophies, scientific knowledge, and entire system of ethics. Colonial schools taught for generations that real knowledge comes from books, preferably written in English or in French, and also centuries of memories passed down from one person to another were broken. Let's be clear, griots were a knowledge system. Just because it wasn't the Western style of knowledge, it does not mean it was not sophisticated. So let's compare a modern tool to griots. Google, instant retrieval. That's what griots could do. Librarians, they were curated oral archives. Historians, they were dynastic narrators. Journalists, they were responsible for public accountability. Data analysts, they were brilliant at pattern recognition. Griots didn't just record facts, they analyzed information, they interpreted the information, they taught moral lessons, critiqued their rulers, offered solutions. In many ways, they were better than passive record keeping. Griots are still there, just less visible. Some have adapted their craft to music. Think of the storytelling in West Africa through hip hop and Afrobeats. Others are reclaiming oral history through documentaries, podcasts, and community workshops. The next griot could be your grandmother or your uncle who remembers everyone's birthdays. Or you recording family stories on your phone before they're forgotten. Well, that is all that I have for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time when we break it down one crazy thing at a time. Bye guys.